everyone. We are live.
Here it is. Here it is. I want
it.
All right. Got to listen to this a minute. Then we'll talk about what this is all about. So, here we go. It's called Can't Stop.
Sleeping in this empty house never felt more free. And dancing all alone in my room never felt so healing. For the first time in a long time, I don't mind when you're on my mind. My friends can finally say your name like it's not a bad word. And I don't have to numb the pain to forget the hurt. Now when I see your face in a crowd downtown, it doesn't make me have a breakdown anymore. And I'm not standing in the corner at a party like I used to. I'm not calling your number when I'm drunk and think I miss you. I'm not crying in the dark and I don't wish I was in your arms. You're the last thing I want to think about, and it took some time to think it out, but I can't stop thinking about you.
Wow. Dang.
Love it.
Thank you.
Chloe Collins, everybody. Hey, welcome to the podcast. Skip Clark, Deb Lamphere of the official Country Music Fan Club. And again, Chloe Collins, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me on.
So welcome, man. And thank you for agreeing to do it. Deb and I have been jamming out to your tunes, by the way.
Yay.
How cool. Yeah, definitely. How cool. Man, you're so full, that voice you have and just the talent that just comes out and speaks to you. Wow. So I just can't get over it. We get the opportunity to talk to so many different artists, independent artists as yourself. And there's so much talent that just doesn't get heard and you don't get seen like you should be. And that's the other reason we're doing this. And maybe this is like a blessing because of the quarantine, because this is one way of getting you guys on, even with everything that's going on. And Deb and I, and our passion for the music and the format, just, to talk to artists like yourself. So it's Chloe Collins. I ramble on.
Yeah.
And I can tell you one thing, Chloe, when we get done tonight, she's going to go, Skip, you need to shut up.
I always critique him after. We critique each other.
I love it. It's Chloe Collins. And Chloe, let's just get it started. We ask every artist that joins us, where are you? Describe your surroundings, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so I'm in Nashville right now. I live here with my parents. Talked them into moving down here with me, as any 16-year-old would, and they agreed reluctantly, but they did it anyway. So I'm in our house right now. I'm in my room, where I spend most of my time now writing songs and such because quarantine. But that's how it's been for the past 8 months.
Well, so you've been there for how long have you been in Nashville?
I've been here, I think, almost 3 years at this point, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's been a while. It doesn't feel like that long, but I still feel like a tourist, honestly.
Oh, please. So you convinced your parents to pack up and move to Nashville.
I did, yes. I kept showing them houses on Zillow. I was like, this one's nice. How about this one? Oh, this one's kind of in a good neighborhood, And my dad's like a lawyer, and he's like, well, I'm not moving my entire practice for this.
Right.
So I took a few, talking tos, but I finally got them to do it. I'm very excited about that.
And you are from where? So our viewers know originally.
Yes, I'm from New York, Manhattan originally. So yes, I'm a New York girl.
So do they miss the New York life? Did they actually spend a lot of time in New York?
We spent a lot of time in New York City. Yeah, I'm almost every weekend, if not more, we'd go and do even the tourist things, for Christmas, we'd go see the tree and all that stuff. But yeah, huge. And they've lived there even before I did for 30 years. So they're really New Yorkers, they're true New Yorkers. So this was a huge adjustment for them. But
it is amazing.
It is amazing, as Deb said, because to get your parents to uproot everything and go with you as you pursue your dream of being a country artist, just to kind of, well, I'm sure your dad being an attorney didn't leave much behind. I'm sure he can practice almost anywhere, but still, to be able to do that. Are you an only child?
Yes, yeah, that is the only way this would have worked.
That made it a little bit easier, I would assume.
No, there's no way if I had any siblings, they would have said yes, but.
Yeah. Yeah. How cool. So you've been in Nashville about 3 years. You've been singing how long?
Since I was about 8. Well, okay, I've been singing since before I could even walk. Really, I was just like in my blood. I'd sing around the house and like on the swing set and stuff. But I've been writing songs since I was 8. Which is crazy to think. That's been quite a while. But yeah, I feel like music, my parents were very into music. They'd like listen to John.
But do you get it? Oh, are we like rebooting up here? Something going on? I saw the countdown.
Oh, countdown, yeah.
That was kind of weird. But a little bit about, music. You must love country, but do you listen, like you said, your parents listen to John Mayer, so on and so forth. Do you ever kind of venture away from the country format at all?
Oh, definitely. I think because I get my influence from everywhere. I mean, as I said, and then like Billy Joel and Billie Eilish, like I go all different. I'm into every genre pretty much. And so I kind of just write what I write, and whatever comes out. And sometimes it's not as country as people expect it to be. Sometimes it is. My favorite thing about country music is the storytelling aspect. Because I think that's so, like, you don't really hear that in any other genre as clearly, like as clear cut as country, beginning, middle, and end,
Right.
So I always keep that in my songs, but I feel like the chord changes and melodies and stuff can literally come from anywhere. 80s music, like it just ranges.
Well, that's good that you don't stick to just one path. I think it's just because you have ideas and creativity. Because you're so diverse in your background, that kind of brings a lot of talent right to the table right there.
Right. And it's like, why limit it to just, one genre when I could be like, I don't even label myself. I'm like, I am all of the above. I am everything there is.
All of as independent as I can be. Everything. Yes. Well, because when I was listening to your music earlier, I actually thought that. I was like, this is definitely not all country music. I loved every single song, but I definitely felt that.
Yeah. So. Very crossover. I'd say kind of like Maren Morris, how she does like a little bit of pop.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing going on,
Yeah, exactly. And it's let me ask you this. I was a big fan of the TV show Nashville.
Yes.
And we watched every episode, my wife and I, and there was a lot of a lot of it's real, a lot of it's not real.
Yes.
But you had a song come on, and I think it was Forget Your Name.
Yes.
And that was in the 100th episode of Nashville. And how did they get your song? How did all that come about for you?
It was, so I would get my songs on different Spotify editor playlists, which had like a pretty big reach, like Wild Country and stuff.
Yes.
And I think so many people heard it. Like, I think at that point, the song already had 130,000 streams on Spotify. So
oh
many
my gosh.
And then I got an email. I would cold email these different TV show supervisors and be like, do you want to hear my song? And like, it's country, who would use country in TV show. But then they emailed me back and they were like, yes, we'd love to use it. Of course, Nashville, like perfect for country music. And then they used it in that scene where it's like not even, I thought it would be in a coffee shop scene, something in the background. You can barely hear it. Like what? Because I've had those before.
Right.
Like,
right.
I know that's my voice, but I don't. But this one, it was like, here's the best song in Nashville, and they played my song. Like, what a compliment! That's crazy.
That is huge compliment.
I know that is big. Can I ask, do they compensate the artist for any of that, or is it just the fact of getting your song on the television show?
They do compensate for sure.
Good.
Well, I certainly hope so. Other TV shows you've had your music in as well. I think I was reading in your bio, Heartland, Bellevue, just to name a couple. So was that like the same type of thing where they saw it on Spotify and the number of hits you were getting, and then they said, we're going to do something with this?
Yeah, and it was kind of a domino effect because once I think my very first sync was when I was 13, which is weird, but it was on an ABC Family show. But once I got that supervisor knew someone else who needed a song, who needed another song with someone else. Like it was such a, reaction like that that I would cold email people, but they would have heard about me from the other person. So they're like, oh, yeah, we want to use your song, like random like that. But yeah, I think 5 or 6 episodes of Heartland have used my song. It's crazy. And that's on Netflix. I'm a big fan. Like my friends are like, oh yes, with like the voices and the sisters. I'm like, yeah, that one.
So getting referrals is actually the best way you can get your music or any kind of business out there. That's the best way. But I'm just curious, when you were cold calling email, basically instead of cold calling on the phone, didn't you find that most people did not respond?
Oh yeah.
Or do they respond? Okay.
I emailed probably about 100 people, and I think 2, maybe 1 responded. Yeah. No.
Okay.
Not a guarantee for sure. I thought no one would, because I feel like that's such an old-fashioned way of doing things, like calling a record label, can you sign me? Like, no, that's not how it works, 2020. But weirdly enough, I was shocked when they actually emailed back.
Well, it only takes 1, which is great. So,
yeah,
but I was just
only 1. I'm grateful
curious.
So were you pushing all your music yourself up to that, up to now? Were you like, are you doing it? Are you the one, as we mentioned, you sent out the emails, but is it Chloe Collins getting on the phone going, hey, you know what? I've got this song. Will you play it? Will you help me out? Or I know I have, I talk to different marketing people, promotions people in the job that I'm in, and your name comes up quite often, but for the most part, you're doing it yourself, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I'm working with Alan Young, as you know, for radio stations and things like that. That's how I got to do radio tour. But for everything else, I mean, social media, YouTube, and, recording my songs, I'm paying for all that myself. And it's really just me. I'm like, I'm the most independent artist there is. I have no team. But it's nice because I get to like control all my own stuff, and there's not someone telling me, oh, you can't post that because this or that. And now I'm putting out songs every like few weeks, and the interval changes between it, and I can do whatever I want because it's just me. But yeah, it's a lot of work, especially with school, but it's been okay so far. So
yeah, I was going to ask you about school. What about college? What's going on?
Yeah, so right now I'm taking college online because COVID. But
most are. Okay.
Yeah, but it's been actually better that way because I've had more time to focus on music. And as we were talking about earlier, on TikTok, I was making joke videos of my dog and my dad, like thinking no one's, because I had like 20 followers, like who would care? And then I posted one song, which was my single Before Can't Stop, and it was Partner in Crime. And I just said, hey, this was inspired by the show Criminal Minds. I'm a big fan, whatever. If you like it, great. If you don't, whatever. And literally that broke it open. Now I have almost, I think, 4,000 followers or something.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, oh my gosh.
It's only been a few weeks. Like, it's crazy, but that's, everyone's like, ooh, how's quarantine going? And at first I was like, oh, it's the worst. Like, because I can't perform live, and I can't go on radio tours and things like that. But it's actually been a blessing. So,
so many people have told Deb and I that this whole quarantine thing. Yeah, initially you think, oh, this is going to suck, but then it turns around and it's like, wow, I was able to write. I was able to work on, my guitar playing. I was able to do all these other things within the time. Yes, it's important for you to be out and, go face to face with the radio station programmers and this and that, and do all that stuff that you normally would do and be on the stage. I know y'all miss performing. I totally get that. But it's that other part of it that's really, it's a blessing in disguise.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. And I would have never imagined it would have been this good. I was thinking, well, my career is over because I've played like 4 live shows a week. Now what am I going to do? But I've written like more songs in a short amount of time than I ever have in my entire life. Like, because I have so much time. And it's kind of
Do you write mostly by yourself, or do you have folks that you co-write? You do.
I do the occasional co-write, but yeah, Can't Stop I wrote alone, and all the songs I'm releasing. Didn't Want You was a co-write, which was a few songs ago, but most of the songs I'm releasing in the next like few weeks are just ones I've written in quarantine, just like in my bedroom, just because I had extra time.
Your bedroom,
Wow.
your room. It's just like, this is
Mhm.
my room. This is where I go to work on my stuff. I close the door. It's my own sanctuary. You know, we all have these rooms that I do what I do. You do what you do. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
you can just let the
It's your
creativity
space.
go. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Do you get to hang with any other artists at all? Do you have somebody that you hang with on a regular basis? Somebody that's doing the same thing as you, or no?
Yeah, I mean, again, with COVID's changing a little bit, but yeah, I mean, and I went to Belmont. Still go to. I still go to
Mhm.
Belmont, and it's I'm a songwriting major, so I know other songwriting majors, and it's a very tight knit community because we're all doing the same exact thing. And you know, it's nice to talk to other artists about, you know, the struggles of being an indie artist, because most people at Belmont aren't signed. So it's like, yeah, I have to do all my promotion, then I have homework after. Like, you know, this thing that isn't very relatable for other people, we are so in tune with that. We're like, oh, I get it, and like I totally understand. So it's, yes, I have a group of artists that I like talk to regularly just about that stuff. Sometimes we just vent to
Bounce
each other.
ideas off of. You can bounce some ideas off of them, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So that
Now, in a couple of years, we're going to have a whole new slew of songwriters coming out, all part of her class, and
Yeah.
we'll
Oh,
have
I'm
some
sure.
new hits coming along.
Belmont has very talented artists. I will say that.
maybe
That school absolutely amazes me. I took a tour with my nephew and my daughter a few years back, and I was just in awe just of the campus. Their programs, of course, were phenomenal, but the campus was absolutely beautiful. And I'm glad you're going there. Although you're not there now, but I'm glad you're going there.
I know. I'm glad I got the normal experience before all this went downhill.
what year are you in, Chloe?
So, well, I guess it's kind of put on hold now, but I finished sophomore year, so I will be a junior. But I'm taking like less classes now. I'm not taking a full year. So, but yeah, I will be a junior.
Okay.
So yeah,
You've
I've
got
gotten like good years for normal stuff. So that's good. And I mean, the networking there is crazy. I've met like the head of Warner Chapel in Nashville and things like that. Just, you know, they just show up like and they just talk to you, and it's like those opportunities are, I don't think, at many other schools. So it's crazy. I'm so grateful for it.
So I have heard that has excellent networking opportunities. So that's one example. But on a regular basis, do they offer lectures? Do they have people come in and offer, you know, students advice on how to pursue, or do they have job fairs there? How do you start to actually break into that industry?
They
with
have
that opportunity.
all of that. They have, I mean, even on our first day at orientation, they had, you know, musicians who had won Grammys, you know, just come to talk to us. My very first day of class, the Haley, the main singer of, I'm forgetting her last name, but the main singer of Paramore, her mom is a professor there, and she came and talked to us. I was just talking about like fame and things like that. Like my first day of class in freshman year. That's
you were like, I love this already. Yeah,
I was like,
that makes you really want to love school. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, no, it's just, and yeah, as I said, the professors are even Grammy winners, and it's just crazy that they have all of these people in one thing.
Right, right.
You know, Belmont has a great reputation for having like talented people there, and they're like, well, let's work with them. Like, let's work with this, you know, younger group of people who are gonna come up and, you know, be the next artist in a few years. So it's so cool.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Sandra. It says, good morning. She wrote on here, good morning from Bali.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it's like, so wow.
You have a fan in Bali.
I love it. I love it. Do you know who Sandra is or no?
I don't believe so, but I might be wrong.
No, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of cool that she commented. But hello, Sandra. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
You get your music on Spotify and you see that you get 100,000 hits on it. What's that? When you see that, I mean, probably totally unexpected. What's that feeling like?
It's surreal, honestly, because as an indie artist, you don't expect almost anything. Like if I get 5,000 streams, I'm like, hey, party. But like this was like, you know, breaking 100,000 in just a few weeks for these songs. And now it's, you know, it would go over time, and that's why some would have more. But now recently with the whole TikTok following, it instantly, like the night of, I think Can't Stop got like 5,000 just in the beginning 24 hours, which is crazy to me. Like,
That
there's
is
actual
crazy.
people who want to hear my music, like, and it wasn't even on playlists in the beginning. Like, blows my mind. But yeah, it's so crazy.
Now, do you
Well,
know-
you have one heck of a. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I say you have one heck of a career to look forward to.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. Do you know when somebody gives you a thumbs up, they add your song to a playlist? Do you get a notice on that?
Wait, really?
Like no, like on Spotify or
Give you a thumbs up, yeah.
like if somebody likes your song and they give it a thumbs up, do you know that? Do you see that? Oh my God, somebody gave me a thumbs up, or
I can see. I don't think I can see the thumbs up. I can see when people add it to playlists. Like, I can see the whole list of all the playlists.
oh, okay, maybe that's what I'm asking.
Some
Okay,
have the weirdest names on them. Like, someone's like, bedroom at midnight vibes. Like, very specific titles. I'm like, okay, I'm glad that's this for you.
yeah, it's like I don't know if I want to be on that list, but
Yeah, but sure.
No,
Okay,
but-
I'll take it.
yeah, exactly. If they're listening to your music, they, you've got a fan. That's a good thing. What really amazes me from being on the radio side, in the programming side of things, is the fact that you can have all these hits on Spotify and all these different places that people get their music, but yet we're not hearing you like we should be hearing you on the radio. Because that means people love it. That means people want it. That means people want to hear Chloe Collins. And I'm just surprised that we haven't heard more about you.
Well, thank you. I'm flattered by that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like radio is, more with the whole record label thing. So if Warner has a new artist, it'll be them instead of, me from Nashville doing my own social media. Like, it's just kind of like that. But hopefully I grow enough following that will happen soon.
Right. Tell us a little bit about, your projects that you've got coming out. You've got a song that is being pitched to radio right now. Tell us about that a little bit, first of all.
Yeah, so Can't Stop is my new single. And I wrote it, I didn't write this one in quarantine. I wrote this last summer, I believe. But this was another write that I did alone in my bedroom, per usual. And I came home. I actually came home from a co-write. So I'd done a co-write, and then I drove home. I was just in like kind of a weird mood. And, there's always that person that you're kind of like constantly thinking about, even if it's for a short period of time. There's going to be somebody who's just like on your mind all the time, good or bad. And I got to this point where I was like, I am almost okay with, like, I almost feel nothing anymore. And I never thought I'd get there, And so I came home from this co-write, and I was feeling this like hopeful energy. And I just like ran up to my room and wrote this song. And I usually write very sad breakup songs, but I thought this was kind of an interesting emotion to capture, because I was like, yeah, imagine like I'm finally over this thing I really thought I'd never get over. Like, I thought it'd be my whole life I'd be heartbroken over this thing, and it's just it's done.
Was it a not really my business, but more or less a heartbreaking experience between you and a special somebody, and that you just couldn't get that off your mind, and therefore when you were writing songs, you were pretty much thinking about that and writing about that? But now you've had a good experience, and you're like, oh my God, I got to capture this. I need to write this down because it's been so long since I've thought of something like this.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And sometimes I'll write 5 songs about the same person because I'm just so in a certain mood about them. I'm like, oh, you're annoying me. I need to write one.
I love it.
Oh, I feel sorry for that person when that song hits the air, because they're gonna know it was about them.
The songwriter, just like PSA, don't write us. Don't date us. We'll write about you. No doubt.
Would you rather be a songwriter or an artist, an actual artist?
I mean, I love both. I really would love to be, my dream is to be an artist who writes her own songs, because I think my songs are like so personal to me.
Okay.
And I would love to give them to, a Carrie Underwood or something. That'd be crazy. And so cool. But I love performing. you know, being on stage is just, you know, getting that feedback is the coolest thing in the world. Just, you know, people coming up to me and saying, oh, I just went through a breakup and your song made my whole day. Like, you know, I've had the worst day and you just saved it. Like, that's, I don't know about that in any other profession. And it's so cool to like be able to have that power kind of to be able to help people that way. But yeah, I would really love to be an artist who writes their own songs.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Have any of your songs been pitched to any of the big artists?
No, not yet. However, I'm hoping soon. Maybe if I get a publisher or something, they can help me get that, because I can cold email Carrie Underwood, but I don't think it would go that well. So I might.
You know,
we'll have to find a connection for you.
Yeah.
You never know. You've got a YouTube channel. You're all over all these social media outlets. All it takes is somebody to go, well, you're already getting that from a lot of fans, or even new fans. Probably as we speak, people are listening to you. But you never know when somebody's going to see you and say, you know what, I want that song. I want to sing that, or I want to, you know, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the lottery.
Yeah. No, it's definitely. And even with the songs on the TV shows, it's, I mean, I couldn't have ever predicted that would happen, or TikTok blowing up. Like, I could have bet money on that not being a successful video. Like, I knew for sure that would just fail. Like, I was like, this will do nothing.
You know, I love it. I love your personality. I love your music. You said you had your guitar there too, right?
I do. Yes.
Is there any chance we could hear a little bit of what Chloe Collins is all about?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. Love to hear that.
Should I play my new single? Can't Stop?
I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why not? There you go.
I'm saying, yeah. Skip says leave it up to you, but I figured
leave it up to the
you'd like to go in that direction.
Sneak peek. Yeah. Okay, so this is Can't Stop.
All right. Chloe Collins. Skip happens.
Sleeping in this empty house never felt more freeing. And dancing all alone in my room never felt so healing. For the first time in a long time, I don't mind when you're on my mind. My friends can finally say your name like it's not a bad word. And I don't have to numb the pain to forget the hurt. Now when I see your face in a crowd downtown, it doesn't make me have a breakdown anymore. And I'm not standing in the corner at a party like I used to. I'm not calling your number when I'm drunk and think I miss you. I'm not crying in the dark, and I don't wish I was in your arms. You're the last thing I wanted to think about, and it took some time to think it out, but I can't stop thinking about you. 3 months ago, I wouldn't believe I'd say this. I saw a picture of you and her, and I didn't even hate it. 'Cause for the first time in a long time, I can say I'm happy for you, and it's not a lie. And I'm not standing in the corner at a party like I used to. I'm not calling your number when I'm drunk and think I miss you. I'm not crying in the dark, and I don't wish I was in your arms. You're the last thing I wanted to think about, and it took some time to think it out, but I can't stop thinking about you. Yeah, I can't stop thinking about you. It still hits me sometimes that you're not mine. There's no tears in my eyes when I smile for the first time. And I'm not standing in the corner at a party like I used to. And your memory doesn't kill me. I'm not dying to come back to you. I'm not crying in the dark, and I don't wish I was in your arms. You're the last thing I wanted to think about, and it took can't stop thinking about you. I finally stopped, I can't stop thinking about you.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Yes. Chloe
Love
Collins.
it. Love it.
Wow. You got to check her out, man, on Spotify and, of course, wherever you get your music. And I know Chloe's got a website, too. What's your website again?
So I don't have any official website, but my Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, everything is like Chloe Collins Music. So it's literally all the same. And TikTok. So follow me on TikTok.
No, I did a quick Google search for Chloe Collins just to see if I'm missing anything, and I'm going, oh my God, she played volleyball in Texas. And then I went,
yeah, the volleyball. Yeah, always before me. I don't know, years. It's been years. I can't just that one sport.
I like it. I like it. Do you like sports at all? Do you play any sports in the spare time, or do you?
I mean, a little bit. I'm kind of a tennis player and ice skating, but not enthusiastically. So
Do a little figure skating.
A little bit. When I was younger, a lot more.
Did that. So they were on a team and figure skating team and all that stuff. So that was cool. Yeah, very cool. So you just you're in Nashville. You're going to Belmont. You've got record numbers as far as I'm concerned when it comes to your music being on all these different outlets. And it's just I'm amazed at the support. I'm amazed at your passion. And the support, when I say that, I mean, to have your parents pack up and move to Nashville, I can't say that enough. They've got to be your biggest supporters. They've got to be like, just about you doing what you want to do.
Yeah, no question. They are my number one supporters. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Do they help? Do they ever give you any inspiration for songs, or do you ever pick up the guitar and say, hey, I want you to hear this. What do you think?
Oh, they're the first people I go to always. When I write a song, I'm like, I come right downstairs. I'm like, guys, listen to this. Like, I have a new song. And if my dad's like in New York or something doing stuff for his business, I'll like FaceTime him in the middle of, he's in a meeting. And I'm like, Dad, you have to hear this. He's like, I'm like, no, you have to hear this right now.
I love it.
So he still works out of New York?
Back and forth. Yeah, he's got an office here. He also works there. So it's, he's compromising. Just
family on the move.
Oh,
there we go.
No question.
So have you been able to play anywhere now that I know Nashville's opened up a little bit and most artists have not been playing live? So have you had an opportunity for a writer's round or anything?
So I haven't been going out physically and doing stuff yet, but on TikTok, I do lives every Monday night at 7:30 Central. So I play for like 2 hours straight, sometimes 3 hours. People like request my song. Yeah, it's so much fun. I love it. It's great.
Wow.
And she's got
I did.
Deb.
What's that?
She's got her own YouTube channel, and she's got at least almost 2,000 subscribers on that already.
Crazy.
That's phenomenal. No, that's a great way. That's what we have to do these days when we can't get out there live. Some artists do get a few gigs, so to speak, or get into a few writers rounds, but I know it's not up and running 100%. I did read that you played at the Bluebird. When did you do that?
Yes, I was, my first time I was 15. And I got up there and played one of my songs, and it was, my legs were shaking. It was insane.
Because it's so small there, right?
So small. And it was like,
personal.
Everyone's like staring at you, like right, dead center. I'm like, okay. Like I'm used to playing bars where no one pays attention. Like they're on their phone, like they're getting drinks, they're talking to each other. I'm just background noise. But at the Bluebird, I was just like silent. Like it was silent, and it was crazy. But yeah, that's one of my favorite venues to date to play. It's so much fun.
If you played the Bluebird,
so
you've made it.
Yeah, it's so great.
You said that was the first time you played there, so you've had the opportunity to play multiple times then?
Yes, I believe it's been 3 or 4 times over the years, which again is crazy because the Bluebird is the Bluebird. So
it's amazing. I mean, people like Garth Brooks have played there, and Taylor Swift has played there. I mean, artists as they're even well established, not just in their beginning stages, have all played there. How does one get into the Bluebird? Do you have to go and audition?
Yes. Yeah, I did I waited online outside in like January, and it was a line of like 2 hours worth of people, and I go in.
Oh my God.
a verse and a chorus, and they say, okay, thank you very much. And then you don't hear back from them. So I do it 2 more times. And then finally they said, actually, we like you. And I said, okay, good.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Have you ever thought about maybe like The Voice or American Idol or any of those type of shows?
Yes, so actually I was asked to do the private auditions for those a few years back, and I was like, okay, not really my thing, but I'll do it.
Okay.
And yeah, I auditioned, but I decided during my audition that that's just not for me, like as a songwriter.
Totally.
And, I want to be my own artist, and I don't want to like be shaped by anyone else. Like I want to be able to do my own thing. So I was like, yeah, maybe in a few years, but I don't think so. Like this is just not my style. So.
Yeah.
That's definitely a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No,
What's wrong with that?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's great to like promote other artists, to get them out there. But me personally, I was like, I want to do my own songs.
Mm-hmm. It's
Not
a bad thing.
Chatting with Chloe Collins. It's Deb Lamphere, myself, Skip Clark, and Skip happens along with the official country music fan club. And she is in Nashville. Make sure you check out her music. If you go online, do a little search for Chloe Collins, it's going to come up. Check out Can't Stop, which is the new single. And I'm digging that song already. Deb and I, as I mentioned earlier, we had it going before we went on with the mics here. And just getting into your music and just like, wow, we both agreed that you're just phenomenal. We talk to different artists almost every day. And, there's all different levels. And it's just so very, very cool. So talented.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
But in order for us to get to know you even a little bit better, I have a few questions.
Okay.
Right? So you don't mind answering these, I hope.
I'm ready.
Well, I'm careful with them, believe me. And so before the podcast, I wrote a few questions down to see if we can actually find out a little bit more about you. Let me ask you this: what is your most prized possession?
Honestly, my guitar. That's probably a very predictable answer, but her name is Raven, and she's beautiful. She's a Martin, and she costs a hand and a foot, so she's mine forever.
You prefer a Martin over a Taylor?
I love both, honestly, but I grew up playing Martin, so Martin is my thing. And Belmont is like a partnership with Martin, so it's this whole thing.
Take care of that. Okay. What's the first word that comes to mind?
Tomato. I don't know why. Any word? That's the one.
I love it. I love it. What's your phone background right now?
Ooh, it's this is weird, but it's a drawing of a skull. I'm really into like skull imagery. Also, it's Halloween, so I'm a big Halloween fan.
Are you? Check out. I'm gonna when we get done tonight, check out Nightmare Barbie online. Nightmare Barbie. All right, and to be honest with you, it's my niece, but she's a makeup artist, and
cool.
she does the 30 days of October. And every day she's posting, and it's a different scary thing. She does all the painting herself. You would never know. She's been in music videos. She has done a lot of this professionally, but she goes by Nightmare Barbie.
I've actually heard that. That's your niece?
My niece is, her real name's Ashley, but online she goes by Nightmare Barbie.
Yeah, wow.
All sorts of awards, and you got to check it. If you're into Halloween and scary stuff and just that type of thing, I think you get a kick out of it. Matter of fact, maybe I'll text you afterwards with a link and you can check
it. No, do it. I'd love to see it.
All right. What was your first concert?
My very first concert was The Wiggles. I was probably 4 or 5. I barely remember it, but I know that was my very first. I think second might have been Hannah Montana. So very tough.
There you go. Who didn't love The Wiggles?
Honestly, they're great.
I took all my kids to go see The Wiggles. Yeah. Great. Even I enjoyed it. It was good stuff. A lot of talent. What's your favorite smell?
I think sunscreen, because it reminds me of the beach.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there.
Oh, my favorite.
Let's see if I can find just, do you have a go-to karaoke song? Do you ever go to karaoke, hang out? Maybe sing or no?
It changes all the time, but recently I've been getting really into Hamilton. It's like the
love that.
entirety of the Hamilton soundtrack. So I think "Helpless," the song "Helpless" from the
Oh, yeah.
Hamilton, would be my right now, like 2020 karaoke song.
One more. Let me see here if I can find a good one. What's your least favorite exercise?
All of the exercise, every kind, every shape, every form. I'm not a fan of any of it.
Awesome. We just throw, Deb and I, we put together a list of questions and we throw it out just to get to know you a little bit better. And, you know, we really, again, want to thank you for coming on with us here tonight and chit-chatting a little bit, telling us all about Chloe Collins, telling us about your music. And honestly, you're a great artist and you've got to struggle being an independent artist, but you know, you can do it. And I think there's more and more independent artists that are making themselves known now more than ever before. And the good ones are going to stand out and you will stand out. So Deborah and I, we get the opportunity to chat with so many great artists. And so that's pretty cool. And they can get a hold of you or see what you're all about. Just check you out on Facebook. And
yes, it's Chloe Collins Music, and 2 C's, not 2 K's, because I'm not a Kardashian. So very important.
I like that little disclosure.
Yeah, I know. I like that too.
It's important to distinguish the two. You know.
Have you watched the television show at all with the Kardashians? Were you in?
Not a huge fan, but I know I'm like named very similarly to one of them, so I'm kind of a fan, I guess.
Deb, you got anything else you'd like to add?
I just, I'm coming down in November. So if by any chance you end up performing anywhere, I'm trying to think, the week that the CMAs are going on, even though they're not having people, that's the week that I'll be there. So if you have any shows, we'd love to come see you. So
yeah, I'll definitely let you know.
Yeah, a lot can happen in a month or so. So you never know. You might actually have that opportunity. So.
I've got to fit into her suitcase so she can take me. So, we're gonna make that.
I have a lot of requests. I think I'm going to be, well, I'm driving, so I guess I could throw anything in my car.
Probably in the trunk.
Yeah.
I've been doing the CRS, the Country Radio Seminar, for gosh knows how many years, and Deb's been doing it at least for the last 10 to 15 years. And were you at the Music Row Awards or the Music Row Get Together? I thought so. I want to say that we've probably seen each other, but it's probably just one of those in the passing, because that's always in the morning. So I'm going to grab my tomato juice or orange juice or fruit. But,
yeah, and everyone's there, like everyone that I've ever known or not known. So I'm like going up to every person.
Right. So that's what I thought, because, Deb and I take that in every year. We go to the Music Awards and Music Row Awards. And, we see a lot of the artists that we talk to here on the podcast as well. So it's kind of,
yeah, I go to that every year. I don't know what they'll do this year, but I went to that every year.
I have the feeling.
Not looking good.
Yeah.
They just sent another survey out about, virtual, some questions about, would you or would you not, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So we're waiting to see how all that plays out. But, it's a great event. It's a great event for the artists like yourself. And it's great for people like Deb doing what she does. And, of course, me doing what I do. So it's a great event. But hopefully we'll see you somewhere soon. If this frees up, we'd love to have you come up and maybe pay a visit and put you in front of some new fans. And
yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
It's awesome. Chloe, again, thank you so much for joining us here tonight.
Thank you for having me. This has been so much fun.
Yes, we do things a little bit different. It's a conversation. It's just finding out about the artist, and you can find out about us. And this is what we do, and that's what you do. And we're all just one happy family. All right. Chloe Collins, thank you so much for joining us here tonight on Skip Happens, along with the official Country Music Fan Club. And we hope to see you again soon.
Yes, you too.
All right. Stay right there.